One of the most impactful decisions that you are going to make is your contractor, but it's also more often than not the hardest decision that homeowners are going to make, because it's so easy to make a mistake. It's so easy for them to fabricate their experience, fabricate the quality of their work. But when you have some trusted people, vetted contractors, it really makes all of the difference. So today we are going to be looking at, they've already started putting on the roof for the house. So things are moving really fast. It is currently May 2nd. And I'm honestly trying to figure out what to tell y'all, because it's a little different now that this isn't my build. So I'm wondering, like, I don't experience the stress because like my company has handled everything. So the homeowner is in his house right now. He's working from home. He doesn't have to be here to kind of worry about anything because we've coordinated the contractors. So really, I'm just going to be educating y'all today on where we are right now in the process. The inspections are going to be happening on Monday. Every different stage of the process, meaning the framing, the concrete, the electric, the utilities, each one has a different inspection phase. So now that they're putting the roof on and they're done with the framing, that is going to be another inspection that's going to be scheduled next week. But let's go check out what they're doing now. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is a lot of progress. If y'all recall, the last time y'all saw this, there was really just basic framing. There was no walls. They've started not only putting up the roof, but putting up the walls as well. So things are moving pretty fast. And the only, like, honestly, I think they could finish this probably in the next 2 weeks. However, the only thing that tends to hold these types of projects up is the inspectors. Whether you're getting a city inspector or a private inspector, either way, sometimes just getting them scheduled and getting those approvals is what's the major issue. If y'all recall correctly though, Jose has been killing it and knocking it out the park, because every single inspection we have been passing on the first try, or their first little review. So it's really been perfect, and I'm excited. Again, like I told y'all, this is our very first stick built in the South. We've been building on the West Coast for a while now. Jose, buenos dias. So this is a lot of progress. It looks good. It's actually looking like a house. It's a house. It is a house, literally, just a small one. Yeah. Okay, where, Jose, can you walk through where is, because this is the bathroom, right?
Yeah, this will be the bathroom.
And then the kitchen is going to be over here for the homeowner.
The fridge is going to be right here. I will leave the stove, the sink, and the dishwasher.
Okay. Okay, got you. And then this is going to be the living area more so.
Yeah, the living, the bed right there. And we're going to put mini split right there.
Okay. The mini split. Oh, yeah, because the mini split is what's used to heat and cool the units.
Yeah, it's going to be right here.
Okay.
This going to be the bathroom.
Is it going to be a door that kind of comes out like a regular door? Okay.
Yes, regular door. It's going to be open inside, right hand. So this is going to be the vanity.
Okay.
Toilet is going to be right here, and the walk-in shower is going to be right here.
Got you. Okay. Okay, it looks good. And then nothing's necessarily going to be on this wall because the door is going to open up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because I asked, because you know I have a barn door. I did a barn door to kind of save space. What about the fridge?
The fridge is probably 30 inches size to the fridge. I think he's going to make a fridge.
Okay.
2 doors or whatever. That's his more big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not going to be, it probably won't be that. It'll probably be like an apartment size.
30 inches.
Okay.
The stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll likely do an induction cooktop.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically when we're doing builds like this, in an ADU, doing the induction cooktop is way better. Number one, because you don't have like the full fire and stove, the hazard of all of that. But an induction cooktop is just so quick and it doesn't take up any space. A full oven or a range is going to take up space.
Yeah.
Like that counter
so
space.
Something on the countertop.
Exactly, like how mine is. The induction. It's like a cooktop.
Yeah.
Like a two burner inside of the counter.
That's 240 or 120?
That's 240.
240, right?
So yeah.
I will bring the electrical later on today to get a permit, and we see, because I know there's 150 amps inside.
Okay.
And we will try to put it probably 80 amps in this.
Okay.
Because it's not like big, it's only 300.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we need probably
so
80.
then his panel is being upgraded to 240.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to change that one to 240. I mean like 200 amps, because when we change that one, we had to change the panel breakers and the service outside and the
Okay.
cable. So that's
Okay.
gonna be, we're talking about like 4,000 more.
Exactly. Okay. Where is this? Okay. That works. That works. So these are things that you have to think about, right? Like especially when you're connecting your utilities to the primary home that you have on the lot. Is your utilities, do they have the capacity to withstand what you're actually putting on? The electrical panel, water, reaching out to the water department, and if you're on septic, that's a whole nother story. It's another video. If you want to talk about it though, let me know, drop a comment, and we can talk more about what it looks like to put a tiny house on a property when you have a septic and what that process is. Okay. This is amazing. Okay, this looks good. I like this. So so what's the updated timeline? 2 weeks, we'll be finished?
I wish. I wish.
Okay, a little more time.
I said probably depends on materials. The materials and the time and everything. Maybe 4 or 5 weeks more.
4 or 5 weeks more. And then we've been at this now. It's been what, only 2 weeks, right?
1 week. We
1 week, yeah.
We started this week with a framing.
Okay, perfect. So really the build out for this 300 square foot unit overall is like 6 weeks.
About 6 to 7 weeks.
6 to
Depending
7
the weather and the materials.
Weather, materials, as well as inspections.
Yeah. We don't have inspection. This can go fast, like probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Exactly. And the thing is, you've seen a lot of folks who like they'll do the work without the, like the homeowner will say, okay, yeah, just throw it up. But when they do something like that and they just throw it up, isn't the city, like you're more at risk for the city to come back around and say, oh, there's something going on to the homeowner, which is why homeowners shouldn't do it.
Make it more safe for whatever you build, and you know the owners will make it happy and say, okay, he's doing right because he's has inspections. You know, when you don't have inspections, sometimes he's coming and framing and he don't care about like the stocks is crooked or no level, whatever.
Yeah. And it just makes sure the structure is safe, especially a smaller structure like this.
Yeah, because somebody will live in here.
Exactly. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so we just heard Jose explain that this whole like contractor build out, the construction build out is going to take about 6 to 7 weeks total for specifically the build out portion. If y'all recall correctly, I talked to you about soft costs and hard costs when thinking about your construction build. So when we're saying 6 to 7 weeks, that 6 to 7 weeks is for what you've paid for the hard cost. Now, of course, that is dependent and it varies contractor by contractor. Jose is moving, okay? Rapido. Is that a word? I think that's a Spanish word. So he is moving very, very quickly. But let's talk more about the timeline and what it looked like, because your longest piece of all of this project is truly going to be the soft cost portion, meaning you planning this out, working with the city, drafting up plans with a designer, drafting up everything with an architect, getting a property survey. We have a client right now that actually is about to start an accessory dwelling unit build, a detached unit out in Fairburn, Georgia. And his property survey, because that is a requirement for the city of Fairburn, his property survey has taken about 5 to 6 weeks for them to complete everything, AB, full topology, boundary, all of that. And again, it's a requirement for the application, so we have to go through that process. So when you're thinking about your build and kind of planning it out, we get a lot of people who tend to be aggressive and say, okay, I want this done ASAP. I need this done within the next 2 or 3 months. And that's just, most times, more often than not, it's not realistic. It's not even due to the construction, because some people like to go the prefabricated route or even the shed, how I did, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna save all of this time. Y'all saw my build. Y'all saw my build, and now you fully understand, as well as I understand, that a majority of the time isn't necessarily with the build. The contractors don't want to be on the same job for weeks or months on end. It's really the soft cost and working with the city and all of these different stakeholders. But for any build whatsoever, if you are looking at a minimum timeline, we always like to say at least 6 months. 6 months for some cities and jurisdictions could be very aggressive, but 6 months is going to give you the time to work with the designer and the architect to kind of do the research, everything that happens beforehand. It's also going to give you that time to then get everything drafted up, get it submitted to the city, as well as waiting for them to get back to you. So some of the biggest challenges that we see that homeowners and our clients are facing when building projects like this, or building them even themselves, is really, number one, actually figuring out what's all of the pieces that are entailed within this process. If you are not in this space, sometimes it's very easy to forget a phase, a step that's actually required and very important for you to get the clearance at the end. So we're finding that some people, if they try to do it themselves, you're skipping steps. And then even furthermore, if you're just leaning on that contractor, most contractors, and I say this with so much love, most contractors only want to build. Their specialty is building, meaning the labor and the materials. Their specialty is not drafting your architectural plans. It's not designing your unit or anything like that. Most of them don't enjoy that. And more often than not, if they are offering that service, it's at a increased price, meaning they're adding a spread on because they're actually hiring somebody else out, bringing it over to them, and then they're taking a piece off the top of that. So it's really important for you to kind of understand those pieces, and that's also why it's really important for you to have a project manager. Darius has been in and out of the office, in and out of town, at weddings, all types of things, but because he's working with our team, we actually have boots on the ground. One of the hardest parts for me about being a part of this process and this build, and it actually not being mine, I feel like Going Tiny Part 1 did so well because y'all saw me literally in the thick of it, experiencing so much emotional distress. I was crying, firing contractors, all types of things because so much was going wrong, and it really felt like that was the awe that a lot of people liked, is that so much was going wrong and I was being very real with how all of that was going wrong. The hardest piece grappling with the builds that we currently have going on all over with our clients is that I'm not as emotionally invested and connected. And then on top of that, not as much is going wrong because we have a proven process, right? Like we have a way that we do things. We are crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's to make sure that there aren't all of the emotional hiccups and stress that y'all saw me endure within Part 1. So I would say that is the hardest part, but also it's like a beautiful part because for me, it allows me time to reflect. Like this year makes 5 years since I officially started the concept for my tiny house in my backyard, and we completed that build in 2021. It's now 2025. So being able to be a part of these, I'm now able to reflect on like, wow, I was really going through the mud, Googling everything myself. The amount of documentation that I have regarding Part 1 in my own build is absolute insanity. But the beautiful part is seeing the contrast between the stress that I experienced with my build and the lack of stress that our clients experience with their build. It's quite literally like they pay us, they have a little bit of collaboration in terms of designing and all of that, and then they can just forget it and go on about their lives. Y'all know Going Tiny Part 1 consumed my life for like a good 6 to 8 months. I was stressed out. It was so much going on. So the fact that they can just come and it's like they pay us, we make it happen, and they just start looking out their backyard and boom, it's a house back there. And there's no emotional distress. There's no lost money, that kind of thing. And I think that's one of the best parts about being involved in the process now like this versus being in the thick of it and it being on your own property, on your own dime, with all of your own stress and baggage that you're bringing to the experience too. I do recall starting in this space 5-6 years ago, the doubt people had of like, nobody wants to live in a tiny house, like nobody wants to live in the backyard, why would they do that? And now we're literally seeing it play out in front of our eyes every single day, exactly why people would want to live in a backyard or live in a tiny house or just like live closer to family. I think we're finally getting back to a point where we are leveraging group economics. We are living more in community, and I'm all for it. Like in this current market, this state where it's like everything seems so individual and we feel like we have to work and work and work and work and work and we don't have time to be supported, to be loved on. I love this as an aspect of like, again, it's real community that people are feeling, whether this is your family that you're moving in or even the community that you start building with somebody, a guest that you tend to have and they're renting it out.